Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tower of Babble podcast. As always, I'm Julian and Meush, and I'm joined by Jeremy Kozier, but he can't answer that because I'm recording this intro a little bit later. Let you guys in a little secret. Sometimes I record the intros later, but it's usually pretty obvious, so maybe it's not that much of a secret. Anyway, today you're going to be joining a conversation in progress between myself and Jeremy as we talk about, not explicitly the Variety article about how these movie executives who wanted to go unnamed are putting together panels of quote-unquote super fans to review their scripts, etc., so that they don't anger the wrong crowds and have, you know, their movies downvoted and all those things that they're afraid of. There's a lot of discussion about Joker 2, the Transformers, and Furiosa, etc. They all kind of coalesce into one larger conversation about where movies are now. What does it mean to make a good movie if all the good movies fail at the box office, etc. Either way, I hope you enjoy it. And before we jump in, just a quick reminder that the TOB Patreon, which is of course patreon.com/Tower Babblecast, we do a monthly film club. If you're not aware, this month I just recorded this with Jeremy last night. The Heart and Souls, which is a movie from 1993 starring Robert Downey Jr., a very fresh-faced Robert Downey Jr. And I'm not going to lie, I loved it. I think it's an amazing movie. Maybe it hit me at the exact right time, considering all the things that are going on in my life. But the emotional heartstrings that this movie was able to pluck in me left a big impression. So I really, really liked it. This is a movie from Jeremy's childhood that he really wanted to bring to the show. So if you're not already subscribed to our Patreon, I would encourage you to do that. Head over there. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to those monthly exclusive film clubs, as well as the occasional additional bit of extra content, access to our Discord, all that fun stuff. So again, patreon.com/Tower Babblecast. That is the monthly film club. For October, for spooky season, we're going to be doing The Lost Boys, which is a movie that I've never seen, but really piques my interest given the subject matter, the time frame, and directed by Joel Schumacher. So that's a fun thing. So anyway, look forward to that for the month of October. But as I said before, Heart and Souls, available on the Patreon feed right now. Run, don't walk to go get it. Anyway, enough of the selling. I will return you to your regular scheduled programming. Again, this is a conversation in progress about essentially the state of movies today.
Okay, go ahead. We'll see. At the end of the day, it just depends on what you make and how people receive it and so on and so forth. You look at Joker 2, obviously I said it didn't really look that good or appealing. And then we already have the numbers. It's like D minus $40 million opening weekend. Just
so
a brutal...
and you think that's because people just looked at the trailers and thought, I don't know, this doesn't look that good. But like $1 billion for the first movie, that like is that just a fluke?
Well, it's like, what do you think they're gonna? I just feel like I don't know, but I feel like I've seen it already. I've seen the Joker.
Well, yeah. So
I've seen what is Joaquin Phoenix going to do?
Apparently, again, I don't know because I haven't seen it.
Turns out they don't do anything because it's a musical, which they did tell the audiences it maybe wasn't as necessarily like kind of like shown or like emphasized. But I guess Lady Gaga should have been your clue in on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think that those things are connected though. Like the Joker stuff, they didn't screen it. For instance, there was no test screenings for that movie. Todd Phillips had a vision and then went and did it. And apparently, again, the movie is, I think, a response to the first movie, which I think is an interesting like idea for a movie in the first place, right? For a sequel to the Joker, which I don't think needed one, right? I think we could both agree that movie didn't need a sequel. But okay, if you're going to
we were even talking how I think even before Joker came out, was that even necessary, right? That was also part of the conversation of like, what are these villain movies without the hero or whatever, and all
Morbius
that stuff. But
and
that one, it looks like the money is on track with Morbius. Apparently, that one opened with 39 million.
Yeah, I mean,
this is 40 million, $200 million. But
I think the thing,
go ahead.
I just think that like the box office thing is such a crapshoot now. Like, it's impossible to know what's going to work and what's not going to work anymore. Like, a sequel to a movie that made $1 billion in The Joker is a complete flop for seemingly not really, like, there's not been enough people to see it to say that it sucks, that everyone else shouldn't go see it. Like,
that's the saying, it's word of mouth. I don't know. That's just what it's terrible word of mouth.
It
wasn't able to, ignite it on fire where people like, yeah, let's go. We got to go see the new Joker movie.
But even that, we discount that, right? What about then? Why does Furiosa fucking collapse at the box office? Why was that a box office failure? Transformers 1.
We did talk about that.
I saw that in theaters. Another movie that completely bombed. It's only making 75. It'll probably make back its budget, basically. Great movie. It's like a amazing Transformers movie. One of the coolest things that Transformers has done in a long, long time. And it's complete bomb. And it's it's so hard to predict what's going to, harder than ever.
For
it seems like. And the worst thing
these are with Transformers, that's that whole IP has kind of almost run its course in terms of movie after movie after movie, the Michael Bay whole thing, and then even more Michael Bay.
Yeah, I guess, but it's been a while since we've got one, right? I guess maybe only a handful of years.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then this one's almost geared towards more of a younger audience, and that might confuse some older audiences. I know, for me, I was it just didn't seem like it was geared towards me, but it's it's Transformers though. You're there for the crazy
Jeremy,
action, the transforming,
I'm
the
telling
sound,
you, Jeremy,
music.
I'm telling you that as a person,
yeah, it's all there. I'm aware.
You're a fan of Transformers.
I'm aware.
This
Trust
movie
me.
And you would love it.
Trust me, I'm aware. But I can understand from a marketing perspective on just seeing this this weird looking kind of half cool looking CG, but then this simplified.
It is a more simplified visual look.
Yeah, it's a little bit in between to where it's okay, I can understand that people didn't necessarily make plans to go see the new Transformers movie because it seems like it's a step backwards in terms of it's an origin tale, but then it's not necessarily the base stuff, but it kind of can be interpreted that way. But then it's also the cartoons because you have those cartoony simplified faces. So I think it's just a little bit mixed up there. And then obviously Chris Hemsworth, that wasn't really promoted as much, I guess. But
no, not really. And he's doing a voice the whole time, right?
I even think,
yeah.
I think Scarlett Johansson's even in the movie too.
Yeah, but she did no marketing for it. I mean, I think maybe it's an example
of Furiosa. We have tons of conversation over just that's a prequel, and it's why is it the same? Is it gonna be the same type of thing? But we really like the other one, but it doesn't seem like it's.
I think we're overthinking
necessarily new and exciting. So then people don't go see that. There's viable reasons as to why people didn't get up off the couch just to go see these movies that we know are incredible for sure. Those are two outliers.
I guess I think the disheartening thing, and I think that's resonating with film Twitter, right? Which is where I get not saying I get all my news there, but it's I get a lot of different interpretations of these questions are posed on film Twitter, right? Why are these really good movies failing, right? I think there is a maybe idealized perspective by certain folks, and I think I probably share this too. If it's a little naive, but this idea that if you build it, they will come. If it's a good movie, if it's a quality thing, right, that it'll find its audience and it'll work, right? But the lesson this year has been, and that's not, and again, it's not entirely true because I'm not saying that every movie that's made money this year is a bad movie. I don't think that. But the movies that have resonated most with me have completely completely failed at the box office. And ultimately, the end result of that is we're going to get less of that stuff and more stuff that I don't want. So, as a movie going fan, it's frustrating to me.
You can be frustrated, but we have no control over that.
Right. So what can we control? Right. I try to drive
for me,
to these movies,
was right? With Furiosa, the story, right? I got my work to buy a bunch of tickets to get a bunch of guys to go and escape for a night and
And what was the reaction, by the way, for your work guys?
Fantastic, unbelievable. They just couldn't believe how good it was, and some of them agree also that it's better than Fury Road. And people are so blind to even that conversation. They're not even willing to have it for some reason. They're
that's the frustrating thing to me. It's it seems like there is this decision that's being made at some cultural level that I'm not aware of, where we're like, no, we're not going to go see this movie. We're not even going to go find out if it's good. we're just not even going to go, right? And like to such a degree that the movie's like not only is it not a box office success, it's a complete failure. Like there's no middle ground, right? It's not like, oh, it was good. The word of mouth helped propel it to, a reasonable $150 million, right? Global take, which is not good, but certainly not peanuts or whatever. I think, again, Transformers 1 is probably going to end with like a $75-80 million global box office. Like that's so bad.
Victor Lucas gave Joker to a 2 out of 10. He said he hated the freaking movie. He'll never ever see it again. He thought the performances and the musical thing, he loves musicals. He says Singing in the Rain is one of his favorite movies, but he found it to be so dull and like just uninteresting and one note. And it's like, okay, then like that's basically the sentiment, and it's just not spreading in a way where people want to go see it. That's all that's happening here. And so you can look back on why does this movie exist, and it's clear because it was Joaquin Phoenix, Oscar winner.
Yeah, he won
$1 billion.
Is that not crazy? Like
it's crazy, and $1 billion, and also $1 billion on a $50 million budget.
Right.
It is
pure cash, straight cash homing.
It's like, okay, Todd, Joaquin, let's do it again. Let's bring in Harley Quinn. Lady Gaga. Yeah. Cool elements to keep it going.
Great casting, I think, in theory.
Cool elements to keep it going, but it just seems like it's not as exciting as the premise of the first one and how that kind of like took over.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the question then. I can even buy that. That's like, okay, well, it just seems less interesting. Fair enough. But, Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for that performance. It made $1 billion, which means so many people went to see that movie. Like, so many, right? And what's crazy to me is that a massive portion of that audience, like the majority of them, looked at the marketing for Joker 2, thought about, maybe they didn't think, I think maybe some people did, thought about the Oscar win, right? That should be worth something, but obviously it's not. And then we're like, nah, I'm not even going to show up. I'm not even going to show up. Now, I think...
Yeah, it could be the Lady Gaga aspect of it, right? You're just introducing a female Joker. Right.
But it's Harley Quinn. This is not a new concept.
Yeah, but Harley Quinn's almost overblown too, though, right? Like, why all of a sudden is she just in all these movies? Right? She gets a solo movie essentially. She's in 2 Suicide Squad movies. She survived. Yeah.
DC sees Harley Quinn as like the fourth pillar of the.
Yeah, it's insane.
Of their, triad or whatever. So. Yeah,
and then you got Furiosa, right, which had basically Tom Hardy in the lead, right, of the first one.
Sure.
And then you're going with a female lead and
yeah, but again, a massive an actress who is like the peak of her career from a popularity standpoint.
Who?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, right. Well, then why?
Like, okay, she's not a slump.
So who is she supposed to be attracting to go see that movie? You think like the big female audience?
Is the audience? So is the argument that the movie star is dead, and this is the repercussions of there's Anya Taylor-Joy isn't putting people in seats. Joaquin Phoenix, the Oscar winner for the same performance, isn't putting butts in seats. Okay,
well, like you said, same perperforance. So why are we going to go see it again?
But again, I don't know. We don't know because I haven't seen it. My understanding is the Joker 2 is a reaction to Joker 1. It's a true continuation of that story, that concept. And that's interesting to me. I'm going to probably go see it because everyone says they hate it so much. I think the one thing it's like, it's crazy. I'm not always said that I've always agreed with like the critical opinion, right? And, we obviously have our own critical opinion, and you can make argument, as we're just a couple schmucks on a podcast where, but I think it's important for us to think about our thinking of this as critical assessment of these movies, right? We are critics, whether we're paid to be them or not, right? And so, when I see Victor Lucas, which is a creator and a critic that I think mostly agree with him on. Yeah. I think, Canadian, really believes in the Canadian brand, and
he loves Batman. Batman's his guy, right? Tommy Tallarico was Spider-Man.
100%.
He loved Joker 1. By the way, Joker 1 came in 2019.
That's crazy. Maybe we're all just It's another world.
2019, dude. That's insane.
It feels like another lifetime ago. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, in this case, the Joker thing, which I think feels like a specifically like engineered to be controversial, and so there's a whole thing about that I want to see, right? So it feels like it's a bit of an outlier. The critical reception especially seems interesting because how much people hate it. But the thing that was crazy was, back to Transformers 1 for a brief second, IGN gave it a 4. But at the same time, I was hearing great things about Transformers 1. But then the 4 from IGN was like, kind of like gave me a little pause. I didn't go see it until after the opening weekend, right? Not that one extra ticket's going to make a difference, but
yeah, I mean, I think you should definitely stay away from reviews. Like, if you should just definitely just see it for yourself, 100%. But we live in a climate where it's just like we're almost inundated with the information on box office or reviews or whatever. And then when it is already a movie that I'm not even necessarily excited for because it's not really speaking to me in an exciting way, other than it's like, hey, Harley Quinn, a new take, and it's Lady Gaga. That's pretty interesting, right? She was in, she's been pretty cool in some of her roles as of late, like. And she can sing, so it's that musical element and those vibes. So, but yeah, it wasn't really drawing me. And now with this new information, it's like, I'm not necessarily gonna.
Yeah, but like, date night, I think the worst case scenario, Jeremy, in that story would be if you're like, well, I'm not really vibing with it, and then it got like a 5 out of 10, right? But like, imagine a movie that you're like on the fence about, but then it's getting like 2s. But you're like, it stars Oscar-winning Joaquin Phoenix and Emmy award-winning Lady Gaga. It's like, what is it? What's the music one? Not Emmys. What's the music award called? Not a Juno. That's a Canadian one.
Grammy?
Those count. Grammys. Yeah, Grammy winner, Lady Gaga, Oscar winner, Joaquin Phoenix, and it's getting like 2s and like really low score. Like, that's interesting. Now it's like, okay. It might not be good, but it might be interesting, which is, by the way, I think what was the hope that people were going to take for the Coppola film, right? Megalopolis, which I did see in theaters the other day, and that movie stinks. That movie stinks. I don't like it.
You just went by yourself or something?
Yeah, I was just I was like, I had a night off.
There's no one who would agree to go see that.
Well, it's like, is that something you? Is that something you would want to go see? Is Megalopolis? Is that?
Not really.
Well, okay, then you can. Okay. Anyway, there's 2 things that Megalopolis had going for it. Adam Driver. What was? I
don't know. Something just popped up. It was like a random video.
Okay. I thought you were trying to like play a song.
Oh no.
Yeah, Megalopolis, which I think was a movie that is it almost wants to have the same cultural like conversation that Joker's having right now, in the sense that like people are like having interesting conversations about that movie, whether it's good or bad or whatever. I've seen genuinely interesting things that people have said about Joker 2 on the internet. Now, Megalopolis, I have not seen that, and it's also not making any money, but that's a whole other bag of worms. I mean, it's got some interesting ideas, and I do like Jeremy, how often do you go into a movie in the theaters where you don't really have any idea what the hell it's about? How often does that happen, really?
Not very much, but mostly happens at home, I would say, because it's like...
Yeah, you're going to put something on, you never see a trailer for it.
You can pick something random. Oh, yeah, let's do it.
But you're going to go out to see something, and the chances that you don't know anything about it are
like
pretty
that,
low.
Like that Rebel Ridge, I just decided to watch it out of nowhere or whatever.
How was that?
Like, it was whatever. I think we talked about last time.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
We probably shouldn't have watched it.
Netflix, man. The thing with Netflix is you're going to put it on, and unless it's like animated, it's probably going to be pretty average or mid, as the kids say, right? But like Blue-Eyed Samurai, if I'm going to pop up one thing from Netflix that I've seen recently, that is badass. Blue-Eyed Samurai. Like a mature, very stylized samurai animated series. Badass. Anyway, what was I talking about? Megalopolis. So yeah, I went to see Megalopolis, and I had really no idea what it was about. All I knew was, okay, Francis Ford Coppola, the making the movie seemingly had all sorts of weirdness going on. I heard like behind the scenes. I heard more about the behind the scenes of making that movie than I did about the actual movie itself.
Yeah, and that pissed me off too, because it's just a bunch of clickbaity like trash about the director being like a sleaze on set or like all these weird story. It's like, okay,
Right.
like what is this? Is this seems like it's accentuated to a certain degree. It's like, how is this even? But you never know, right? Because there's been so much shit that's gotten.
Well, and he's like a director of a different era, so it's like maybe it's clashing with the new modern way of making movies, and I don't know. But I will say that the final end product is very confusing. It's very, but not in a good way. Not like this movie's too smart for me. It's more like this movie thinks it's super smart, but it's mostly just like random things happening with very little interconnected tissue. It feels very jarring to go from like moment to moment, scene to scene. But I'm not to spoil the movie, but I'll just say that like from a premise standpoint, I was like pleasantly surprised to find out what the premise of the movie was. Do you want me to say what that is, Jeremy?
No, thanks.
You don't want to hear it? Okay.
No.
Well, I will say then I won't mention it then, but I will say this. It's genuinely interesting concept, right? And I think what Coppola is trying to do is trying to like shine a light on our modern society, the end of an empire, right? This Western empire that we live in as it's crumbling under our feet. And what does that look like? And what is indulgence and the way of our life? How has society reached this point, and is there a way out of it? And can we have real conversations about how to improve the future and find solutions, right? I think that's what the movie's trying to talk about, but it's so ham-fisted. And I don't know, it didn't do anything for me. It's cool to see a new Francis Ford Coppola movie. I will say that in the year 2024. It's cool, but it's not a good movie, unfortunately. And even my boy, Adam Driver, couldn't save it. But it's also not making a lot of money. So, neither here nor there. Jeremy, are you going to see this movie? And if so, is it just because Francis Ford Coppola is the director? I think that's a fair question.
Yeah, if I see it, it'll be maybe when the 4K is out or something. I don't know. Buy it for cheap. We'll see.
Well, it's probably going to be pretty cheap, but it'll probably get cheap.
Yeah, fast. Well, when they're brand new, they're freaking $40 or more sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, so to wrap things up here, Jeremy, do you want to go quickly through some of your collection that you're showing me? It's tough on an audio podcast, but
that's why we're not doing that.
Do you want to? Okay, but you did get a lightsaber book, and I want to know more about that.
Why?
Because I love a lightsaber.
That's what the whole thing is. Every page is a Jedi or a Sith, and it's
a coffee table book, right?
Yeah, it's like long. It's like this. So like every second page has the lightsaber, like
hilt.
Sideways.
And you're showing me Obi-Wan's in this one because it's by far the coolest of the lightsabers.
Yeah, I mean it's probably nostalgia purposes with episode one.
Qui-Gon, maybe Qui-Gon's got a nice one too.
Yeah, well, both of them, right? Like the two together on the mission, right? Like we never really got something like that in the original trilogy. It was because they were gone. Like,
well, yeah, Obi-Wan hands Luke this lightsaber, and then you don't really get like the hilt. You don't really get to see it up close.
Well,
the second movie.
Well, just even the existence of Jedi itself, it wasn't like this whole like.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Force.
There wasn't that many hilts to look at. It was Vader's and Luke's, and that's.
So just seeing them like like a buddy cop type thing, but like in a serious way, and like those are their two lightsabers, just very sleek. They'll just always be my favorites. But then Luke's from Return is just very iconic.
I don't like the little like satellite dish thing at the top. That's
satellite dish.
It's got like this little like bowl at the top.
No, it has like that little shit, like a light, like a flashlight. It has to have that little round kind of V contour.
I guess. I also don't like the like really big like black button thing that sticks out the side.
Well, it's not black, but if that wasn't there,
it would look way cool.
Well, I think it just looks of its time as well, but then it can also be timeless. Like it looks like it was made from like pieces of tech.
Well, that's what I mean. I think the lore of that is that he built it himself, and obviously, in an era where the Jedi are no longer around, who's building those lightsabers, and you could argue Obi-Wan and Yoda helped them do it.
Yeah, and then the bottom piece has like those like squared kind of 3D elements.
It looks uncomfortable to hold. That's the thing with the.
Well, it is unless it's just above the button. It's nice. It's got like some cool grips.
Sure.
But even Darth Vader's is cool because it has like that half kind of slanted top part where it comes out. But also looks like it could be.
It's like a dark version of Anakin's saber.
Yeah, but it still has like silver on it, so it doesn't look like it could. It's like fully like a Sith saber.
Again, my favorite is like my favorite is probably the Wookiee saber that's made out of wood, which is cool as hell. But no, the Dooku saber, which has like a curved. It's like
this one. It's very easy to kind of like just go through all the sabers in this one because you can just kind of flip it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones I mentioned always stand out, and they even have like the video game characters towards the end.
The video game character, which ones? Who? Starkiller?
Yeah, I think he's in here, but who is like the redhead guy?
Oh,
they got Ezra in here.
Oh, Ezra's lightsaber. Which one?
They have both. They have a second lightsaber.
His first and second. That's cool. Okay. Did you know his first one was also a blaster
hybrid gun? Yeah, that one has a fold out.
It's so cool.
When you turn it, it looks like the blaster gun, and then you fold that page out, and then it's the lightsaber ignited.
How does it look like the animated version, or does it look like?
It looks like a 3D model. Like they all look like 3D models with like cool lighting in a black. It looks like the trophies like in Smash Bros.
Okay, well, because like,
or even items in Resident Evil, that's like 3D.
Sure,
it just looks good. It's all consistent.
Because like the thing with the animated ones, like Ezra's lightsaber, you never really got to see it.
Cal Kestis dual lightsaber.
Okay, but like thing with the Cal Kestis one is it's like all the light you can customize.
You got Ben Solo, dude. Like when he was like a Padawan or whatever.
Really? Okay, that's cool. All right. You know what? This book has won me over. All right. By the way, speaking of
Orange,
I'll bring this up now since we're talking about Star Wars. Did you see the news that Ewan McGregor, the Ewan McGregor is in quote unquote in conversations with Disney Lucasfilm about doing an Obi-Wan season 2?
Sure, of course they are.
And he wants to do more flashbacks with Anakin, and he wants to wear the Clone Wars armor.
Yeah, it's all great. We need a redemption of them even coming back in the first place.
I agreed. Yes.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. These are your iconic characters who aren't going anywhere. And you have these legacy versions of them. These actors are still alive, who are fan favorites now. It's like, let's just go at it again and see what we can do.
It's beyond just that. It's like Ewan McGregor, A1 fucking quality actor. Like if you can get Ewan McGregor in something, he's gonna do really like. I don't know, Jeremy. Have you seen a bad Ewan McGregor performance? Because I don't think I can think of one. Even in bad movies,
one of the greatest actors of our time, easily.
Whereas I wouldn't say that about Hayden Christensen, but he is dearly loved.
He just serves a great purpose for what Star Wars was evolving
campiness
with. Like he is a fan. He is like us. He was a kid,
but also
who got this role. Well, he was a kid who got this role and lit up an imaginary lightsaber in front of his friends and did a fight. He got the role of a lifetime that was already established in our
but imagine
society.
being Lloyd or whatever, the kid from episode 1. That's like he also got to do that. The kid's name. His name is something Lloyd.
Yeah, then they shafted him and recasted him. It sucks. And his story, he's always like posted on like clickbaity articles.
Yes, because that's his legacy, right?
It's brutal.
He got to play the annoying version. Well, the more annoying version.
But he was like sweet because we got to see him like do the pod racing, like really kind of take control in a situation, showcase the possibility that
the pod race scene is so good. I'd like if I just
the announcers,
challenge anyone Everything about it is so good. Yeah, the guy with two heads.
What are the announcers? I think that guy, he's one of the guys that would show up on Whose Lines It Anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I
Ryan
remember
Stiles or
it was like a white guy with glasses and like curly hair. That wasn't Drew Carey, but it was like a.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He was never very good at singing, but
it was always cool seeing him. You know, he's one of the.
He was on the Drew Carey show,
right?
So,
okay,
which is but yeah, I think the thing about this Ewan McGregor story, which is funny, is yes, we do need redemption for that first season, because there are so many good moments in that, and I don't know where it is or what's happening with it, but if that guy's going to release that like movie cut of this, I want to see it, because I feel like you could really cut out the chaff, right? And cut out the wheat from the chaff. Yeah, you save the chaff. You can take anyway.
Cut the fat. We'll just say that.
Yeah, cut the fat, and then really, like hone in on those like amazing moments, like the moment when
I failed you, Anakin.
Yeah, great moment, right? Like great performances. The action's cool. Everything about that.
Just
but then there's super dumb moments in there, right? There's a lot of dumb stuff and a lot of stuff that looks bad. So
why would they do that?
Why would you make this dumb? The thing is,
could you be wrong?
We know why. I know why, because they're
cutting corners.
They were being cheap.
How can you do
cheap
that?
as fuck. Yes, I don't know, Jeremy. It's crazy. So
how do you get away with that? You don't.
Treat
we know.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like this is why it's like, hey man, sorry about that. Let's do this again. But the thing is, we talked about this before, which is that when we heard about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as a concept, I was like, how cool it would be. And this was years ago. We were talking about this. But
it was almost like an unbelievable thing that we were about to.
Right. You're like, what are the fact this is happening all so amazing.
All the teases of everyone who's coming back.
Right.
And then week to week, was it a week to week thing?
It was week to week. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, somewhat appealing, but then like it kind of,
there'd be moments
it kind of would spread away, and we're like, okay, I get it. It's a TV show at the end of the day. We have all these other characters and actors and narratives, storylines, and we got to kind of pay attention to those. And yeah, it was just kind of like, why did you think, I guess because of other things they've done and stuff, but it's like, you have legacy characters right here. We don't need these other characters.
Well,
these other characters got attacked
at all. It didn't.
These other characters these other characters actually got attacked.
Like, I know.
For just existing.
I know. It's crazy.
Like, but it's almost like, yeah, like that's just how, like, it's not that we knew that would happen, but it's like, yeah, we got to just focus on like the meat here.
Well, by the way, this is the exact reason that these studios are trying to put together these panels of super fans so that they can. But
you would be an ideal. We would be ideal candidates.
No, I think it's dumb to do it to begin with, because
well, yeah, obviously.
I think the most interesting things that we see in these movies is the things that I didn't expect. So if we're just getting, it has to do this, and this to be Star Wars, like it's a checkbox thing now. It can't have too many women because that'll offend too many people, or it can't have any of this, or has to do that. Like, no, movie making is art is
yeah, but not when it's an IP machine.
But that's the problem. This is the divorce between
the ownership of the gatekeeping.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's the thing is, again, you missed this year because it's blowing up on Twitter. You've been busy, but the thing that's crazy to me is you could put a book together of all the anecdotes and quotes from directors and filmmakers who are like, I don't make this for the fans. I make this for me, right? Like these movies are made. They have a specific vision. They're the audience is your own imagination, and then this expectation from fans that it has to be this or it has to be that. That's how we get to this place that we're in now.
Yeah, it just, especially when you have established characters and IP, there's a sense of expectation and ownership and gatekeeping.
Right.
When you step outside of that, right? We have Justice League and all that stuff. That was the early signs of that stuff, and then obviously Star Wars with Last Jedi and even Force Awakens to a certain degree.
I think it comes back to Last Jedi.
That one Force Awakens dipped its toes kind of. It was a
little bit, yeah.
An even balance because it was almost too even and threw those people off too.
Well, it was very popular, but then everyone's like, it was just very shallow, that movie. Yeah. But then again, Last Jedi is like the perfect barometer of this. It's like, this is a movie that challenged expectations and then was absolutely destroyed from a fan perspective because of it. The fact that we can't challenge people, viewers, I think that what you're going to end up with is, something like
movies
Rise
by
of
committee.
Skywalker, which was a movie that was made in response to the reaction to The Last Jedi. And The Rise of Skywalker is by far the worst Star Wars movie, and it's not even close. And this reactionary shit, I think Lucasfilm was really bad for this. There's a reason that, the reaction to The Mandalorian season 3 was poor. So we're going to convert the season 4 into a movie because we think that'll, work better.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we want though, right? Because look at with Obi-Wan, we're kind of saying the same thing.
I'm not saying that movies are bad, but it's like, let's like commit to your vision. Have faith in the work that you're trying to achieve.
But that's not what happened with that one specifically, because the vision is a different story, and they don't want to tell that new story because people don't want to see that story. They want to see Baby Yoda.
People don't know what they want to see. That's the truth.
No, they
right?
voted with their wallets and all the
Baby
merch.
Yoda is okay, but the thing is,
you own Baby Yoda merch, correct?
Baby Yoda was a massive part of season 3 of The Mandalorian.
You own merch. You own that stuff. I don't.
I have a Baby Yoda. I have a Baby Yoda T-shirt. Yeah,
I don't have a single thing. I'll never will.
Okay, fair enough. But the Mandalorian as a show, as a concept, is still resonates with you to some degree, does it not?
It does, but it's still. I don't think it really surpassed like a Boba Fett type, because it's just another version of that. It's trying to do a second chance on Boba Fett essentially.
And I would argue that
it's not an essential piece of like the Star Wars story.
Season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian, I think, are essential.
Yeah, they're well crafted. They're well like developed stories and narratives.
Well, no, I think the Mando as a character, Din Djarin, I think is as big, if not now bigger than Boba Fett in terms of. I think so, and yeah, sure, it rode on his coattails. But again, I think
he is not.
But again, Jeremy, what you're describing is a scenario like, okay, well, people don't want to see those stories. Well, what stories do they want to see? They just want to see more of the same shit. Just go back and watch fucking the movies again, if that's how you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So, you need new things. It's not every new thing is going to be exactly what you always wanted, which is why you're going to end up with diluted art by a committee, and it's going to suck. We're going to get less good stuff.
I've been on this tip for so long.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the internet's catching up to
with Justice League.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another great example of how people
it's the craziest one. They
making changes.
Fired a guy and tried to redo the whole thing in order to appease this notion of like what something is supposed to be, this movie by committee, so that people will accept it. And then it just,
right. And I think you can even argue, Jeremy, that okay, if they just let Snyder finish his vision, and it would ended with Justice League 2 or whatever, everyone would have been fine. Right?
Yeah, we know that.
Everything would have been fine because, okay, yeah, maybe it didn't, maybe Justice League 2 only brings in $250-300 million. Okay, there's a financial failure or whatever. Who knows? I mean, this is a big what if. But then, okay, we reboot, we start with something new, and then instead of where we are now, which is like just more like, well, we didn't get to finish that, and people want to. It's like, but again, the problem
it's just not exciting. Nothing coming is exciting, really. You have Venom 3 is out right away, which is wild. I didn't even realize that.
Remember when we came back out of Venom 2 and we're like, just so disappointed by what that movie was.
And that had a cool director in what's his name from Gollum, Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's that's not even the case here. It's just a different director now. Wow. And they're marketing it as the final one too. So that's good. I think that's a smart move though in terms of marketing.
You think that
conclusion.
Folia Dush should have just been like, this is the last Joker movie, please stop.
No, that one's weird because it's the second one, right?
Yeah.
And obviously they want to milk that as much as they can.
But again, okay. The Venom thing, I've seen a million of trailers of this. We've seen the first 2 movies. And I feel like I'm coming off like a real curmudgeon in this episode, more so than usual. But I know what Venom is. And it's basically just an opportunity to see Tom Hardy be a crazy person for 2 hours with some I think mostly pretty tame jokes, some relatively quote unquote edgy violence. But it's it's pretty soft, milquetoast version of Venom. It's constantly pounding me why it's successful, interesting. I don't know. I don't get it.
Point also is and then you have Superman. I guess that's the only thing really exciting from DC. But then even then, it's like, what is that going to be like with all like the kind of weird stuff leading up with like the suit reveal and whatnot. And then James Gunn released another thing they call another project that's like half anime and half like something else called
the Creature Commandos, or
no, that one we already knew about. It's like it's a Robin thing, dynamic duo, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
but like
yes.
None of this stuff just seems like that kind of larger than life, like hot anticipation, like DC. You know what I mean? Like when
is
Nolan
it possible
was doing his thing.
that nothing ever will feel that way, and that they just have to come to terms with
it just all feels cheap, and they even said that like the movies will be they'll try making lower budget movies moving forward and just focusing on quality or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, like, did you see the set pictures of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner?
Sure. I mean, I like
that's more of a joke just because the hairpiece or whatever.
I guess I mean, I think for those things it's like, I think you have to wait. We said this before. Like, we have to wait.
Yeah, I'm just being. It just doesn't seem exciting. Like nothing is like exciting. Like it just doesn't feel exciting. Like,
well, I mean, okay, so
stuff.
I just don't know if that's the case, and maybe that's a larger sentiment across the movie going public. It's like, what's exciting people and getting people back in theaters. I don't know.
If it's not Superman, then it's like, yeah, we're gonna have another serious conversation on what's actually going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it does feel like there's a lack of, and I don't like, not to be like, you know, hoity-toity or whatever, but it does feel like there's a lack of like media literacy, like how to watch a movie and not hate it. You know, like I saw somebody tweet the other day. It's like, you know, it doesn't make me a shield that I go in trying to like things before I see them. Like you're allowed to enjoy things in life, and it's okay to.
Yeah, it's like the whole Kevin Smith thing, right? Saying he's basically doesn't really want to spend time even criticizing things or talking about things he doesn't like. He just wants
It's like, what's the point? Like, what does that bring into the world? Just more negativity, right?
Yeah, I'm there too. I feel like we're just broke. You know, we're just constantly repeating these stories of DC, especially in Warner Brothers, and just like the mishandling of this, and like now there's a new sheriff in town.
Sure.
It's not The Rock, it's this guy, and then like we still haven't really seen the
Rock.
fruits of
Jeremy,
that labor.
Please never remind me about The Rock's era. What a absolute garbage time that was. That's
well, it's still, you know what I mean? Like we're still kind of lingering on that kind of, you know, post Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, and Blue Beetle was a movie, and we're gonna go back to Blue Beetle,
right?
Like
but
it's all
Marvel. Marvel,
no,
like Marvel, it's,
Marvel, yeah, but they just had Deadpool Wolverine, dude. It's like it's
right,
it's
but we even
insane.
agreed that despite that movie being a massive success for an R-rated movie, it's like it's still pretty hollow from a movie perspective, right?
Yeah, but it's still reinvigorated kind of like what the Marvel like juice is, and we're all kind of drinking it.
Sure.
And especially if we got Fantastic Four on the horizon with some very promising stuff going on there and some actors involved. And then the Robert Downey Jr.'s announcement as Doomsday, and then the Russo brothers are back. Like it's a whole, and then Chris Evans came back. Like it's just, there's a lot in motion there that's very exciting, and not your typical phase, whatever, where I was like checked out. We got fucking Miss Marvel and, you know, like whatever else.
Sure.
Like, all that shit. And then,
but that's even, I mean, I thought that stuff was good. I mean, that's another example of like, I think people deciding to hate stuff before they've even seen it. And it seems like there's a lot of like people would rather pile on.
I'm not saying I hate it. I haven't been geared towards it or consumed it.
You can argue that's like, there should be I don't think we've reached this phase yet, or maybe we have.
Now they're talking about, you don't got to do homework. You can just watch this and do that. We're not going to do all those things.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I'm just mean more like, I think that we can reach an era. I mean, we should be far enough along in the comic book movie space that not everything is for everyone. Not just because you read comics doesn't mean that every comic book movie is going to be for you, right? And same thing with the shows. It's like, man, okay.
But it was a sense where they'd assume that was the case, and it was wrong because they would cut corners or make the movies cheap or whatever. And it's just like, we have a third
I think She-Hulk is a great example, because I think that show was genuinely hilarious. Like, I thought it was very funny. And
I don't remember being funny, but I remember being fine with it. I thought it was cool that we had a She-Hulk show, and it was like,
it was pretty good.
Cool visuals and like gags and like cutesy with like the whole lawyer stuff and like flipping that on its script, the whole Deadpool nature of it, the actress they found.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
great.
there's some charming stuff there for sure.
But like that show got so much hate, and it's like, man, okay, if She-Hulk's not for you, man, move along. Like everyone else over here is having a great time. I'm just like, we're all having a good time over here watching the show, right? And meanwhile, people are like, it's that meme of like, hey, stop liking that thing. That's kind of what it feels like.
I just feel like you're really stuck in this whole like I like something and you're aware of people who don't and you're just like off.
No, because it's beyond that.
Because with Star Wars, it's like really crept into the things you like the Acolyte and like
because that show's canceled now.
Yeah, but just move along.
Well, no, but the thing is, Jeremy, it's the things that I like are getting hate, and then it's affecting the actual output, right? Like we're not going to get another She-Hulk, or we're not going to get another Acolyte because the people who didn't watch it and didn't like it.
There's so many things that didn't come to fruition.
Yes, more things don't happen than
Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie with Vulture, but guess what? He came back years later into Doctor Strange. He's doing Doctor Strange 2. In a world where all these Spider-Men are back.
These things all might wash out in like 10, 15, 20 years. But I guess what I'm saying is right now in this moment, and in speaking to that Variety article, it's just that it just feels like studios are afraid of people not liking their stuff. And if you are making stuff in that way, you're not doing it right. It's
tough to spend the money and then not get your return back.
Yeah, I get
Everyone thinks they know how to make it work. Right. And then you give some creatives total freedom and then that doesn't work. So it's just gambling essentially, and then when you gamble you want to go on the odds and what and
but
the
then it's like
stats.
The idea that like
that was Joker,
it doesn't make sense because like okay, you're right, something works, we'll do more of that, and then until it doesn't work and then we'll do something else. But it's like at one point is the movie going public and the way that we consume media is so fragmented, right, between streaming and movie theaters and VOD and whatever, right, that the audience that you're trying to find, this like everybody and their kids need to go see it, that's a once or twice a year thing now, right? At least right now. It used to be the pre-COVID days, you could bank on, almost a $1 billion movie every year, right? And or multiple ones in some cases. And that's not the case anymore. So if every movie can't be $1 billion, maybe we can find a way to continue making these interesting things, these things that, again, that I think a lot of people think are good, but are being like, oh, well, see, it doesn't work. We have to go back to making the same old shit. It's like, well, that's fucking boring. So that's, I don't know. It just feels upsetting as someone who's like invested in this stuff, that the only output that I want is quality, right? Ultimately. And I just think there's a lot of bad faith arguments out there about what even quality even is because of, again, these preconceived notions. If we have to have another conversation on this podcast about people bringing baggage into movies and expectations and that ruining experiences for you, that's on you. You can control what you bring into the movie before you see it. You don't have to bring in all these expectations that flavor the movie or can weigh it down. You can just meet it where it is. Anyway, I've done that rant too many times. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, we can wrap it up there. Jeremy, thank you for your time as always. Good news on the future content perspective. I think I'm going to do a special Star Wars bonus episode for Small Screen Star Wars with Rachel sometime next week in a bit. Again, I'm really starting to hesitate on like giving timelines on stuff because I'm bad at following through on those things. But I'm going to try to do a bonus episode for Small Screen Star Wars with Rachel, talk a little bit about this Obi-Wan thing, talk a little bit about some other Star Wars news. There's been a few things. As well as the fact that we went to go see Empire Strikes Back in concert, which was really, really cool. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. But I also met a new friend, someone I should have met a long time ago from Cayman. I'm going to try to get them on the show. They do radio down there and are really tuned into film and television stuff. So someone fun to interesting and talk to, add some more flavor, some more voices to the podcast. So I'm going to try to make that happen sometime soon as well. So just stay tuned for that. Other than that, Jeremy, are you planning on seeing any movies, watching any TV shows that you want to talk about in the near future? Tough sledding. If X-Men 97 isn't on, it's going to be a tough sell.
Well, I got to watch Chronicles of Riddick because I did Pitch Black, so I got to do that.
Okay. Actually, Jeremy, let me know when you watch that. I'll rewatch it because I haven't seen it in a million years. Let me know, and maybe we'll do a little fun movies, public movie club for that. That might be fun. So just give me a shout when you've seen it.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, on that note, then, thank you everyone for listening, and we will be back very soon with more TOB.
Take care and good night.